what you need to really stay out boondocking for longer than just a few weeks. There's a lot of guys that have videos out there that talk about boondocking for 10 days or 6 or whatever. But I'm going to try to go over a lot of the things I think you need if you really wanted to stay out in the middle of nowhere, kind of off the grid. For us, that's Snowbird West, and what you're going to need to be able to do that, or just plain be out in the middle of nowhere. The things you're going to need, like water, electricity, power, and solar, Starlink or something like that, for to stay in touch, to stay in the world and on the grid, because you got to have a little bit of that so you know what's going on in the world. Hey, we're in Yuma, Arizona. Usually the people that park in rigs like us, they put them out here on the front, on both sides. And you can see that glorious looking Montana fifth wheel right there is our home away from home. Hi guys, so this week's vlog, this is going to be like the end of the vlog, and we're talking about some of the changes and things that we've done in the rig to make it more like a home for us. Okay, are you finding messes?
I don't know if it's a mess, I've just had to show.
Okay guys, this is it. This is the game changer for us. Let me tell you why. Okay guys, this is the time of the year when the camp's a mess. This is our spring cleaning. We're about to put all this stuff in the gray trailer, lock it up. Got a couple of cameras that we got mounted up on the front and the back that send us a signal if somebody's messing around with it. And then Pati is actually washing some carpets, get them clean before we take off on the road again. Which, if you watch our other videos, we've done it in the past. So this is what we do to get ready to hit the road. See you out there. Well, Pat's on the roof, and it's right before the end of the season, so we like to, before we take off, we go a whole bunch of places. We like to check out the rig, and that's what she's doing right now. Looking for anything that we need to put some special tape over, or cracks, or any part where the water gets in, because water, they say, is your #1 enemy.
Hey guys, hit that like and subscribe button. Help our channel grow, okay?
See what's going on.
No, I'll show you in a minute.
Okay. And over here, usually in a RV, there's a table and chairs here, which I turned in one time into my office. It's not very functional, we didn't like it, but it just makes this whole area look a whole lot more roomy to have a sideboard here. This is where Pati puts all of our extra pots and pans. We have a slow cooker, not a slow cooker,
Instant
pot down there, some other stuff that we use when we're on the road. This was particularly heavy. It weighed over 100 pounds itself, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the slides, and we took out a table that they made, and the chairs and everything were pretty heavy themselves. So it just makes it more homey, more roomy. And then we took out, these two chairs are like theater chairs. I got a Sam's Club. We had the couch in here for a while, and when it tried to lift up the side thing for me, it started going like this. It was kind of weird. Very cheap material. This is pure leather. This setup probably cost us about $1,100, $1,200 for this. It's really nice. The chairs recline and everything. It's going to last a long time. And then if you come back here, Usually in these rigs, and I'll probably show you some before and after pictures so you get an idea, there's a couch across here which turned into a sleeper. Well, we decided to take this out and put this in. This is that I can stand up. It's going up and down right now. It'll go up so that I can stand up and work, or I can sit down and work. And for whatever reason now that monitor is wanting to come on. But anyway, we replaced all this. We put over here in this corner the printer that we usually hide up here in the closet unless we use it, and we got to go fish it out and all that stuff. We didn't like that. So we put in a filing cabinet, some stuff for some more camera equipment that I have. And then you turn around here to this side. This is just a standard television. Haven't really made any upgrades to it at all. Haven't had to. We put these on the sides so that you can get more space out of the center aisle. And it's really messy right now because we just had dinner. And then if you look over here, this is our latest upgrade. And this has been a game changer. Patty and I will both have to agree on that. We don't use the stove, propane, and we don't use it at all. I try to use as little propane as possible. If I could get a rig that's pure electric, I'd just get an electric rig, totally. I wouldn't have any propane at all. But for heat, and when we go some places, times up in the mountains and whatnot, propane is what keeps us warm. But what we did is Patty bought this metal covering, stainless steel, and it covers the burner so that we can use the space. This is an ice maker, and this right here is a air fryer. This has been a game changer for us. This has helped us cook a lot of different foods that we haven't done in the past. That's really helped a lot. And above it's just a standard microwave, except
it's a convection.
It's also a convection oven. So this right here is the kitchen. One of the things we really like about RVs and that we think is really cool is they have lights and stuff everywhere. There's lights for everything. There's storage for everything, and everything's just kind of right here, so you can get your hands on it. This was our Berkey, sorry. It purifies and cleans our water. We love that as well. And then we put another thing in that's been a huge game changer for us. I've tried to talk about it in other videos, but this is a regular refrigerator. It's a low energy 5-star. It probably at its peak draws about 67 watts. It's the highest I've ever been able to get it to go up to. We put a little meter on it that tells us the watts that it does, and it will barely get us up to maybe 60, maybe 70 watts when it's trying to keep cold. We had the other dual propane electric fridge, sucked. We hated it. It was constantly going through propane. We're right now down in Arizona. When it starts getting too hot with that old unit, it could not keep up. We literally look at ice cream and it was starting to melt in the freezer, okay? This thing is like a regular residential fridge, and it has been a huge game changer. If I were getting into a rig now, most of them have this now. They're trying to go away from that dual propane electric fridge, and they're going to these. But you got to have some kind of battery backup system, because when you're going down the road, if you're not hooked to 30 or 50 amps all the time, it won't work. But with ours, we have 8 lithium battle-born batteries in the front, charge controller, solar panels on the roof, so even if we're out in the middle of nowhere, this baby will run off the batteries and it does not draw a lot of power, okay? So come with me back up in the bedroom. So now we're back here. The air conditioning just came on, but again, I'm turning on all kinds of lights. There's lights everywhere. So if you can look here, this is our bedroom. We like this. We've never been able to find another bedroom that fits like this does for us. If Patty will turn around and go back just a little bit, one of the only things that I like about Montana, and I'm not a big Keystone fan anymore, but this slide right here, so this unit has 2 opposing slides. So if you turn around, this is the only thing we like about Keystone. A lot of it we don't, because the quality is just not there. Okay? These are opposing slides that go all the way out. That makes it so roomy in here. But if you turn around on this back in here, this part right here, this is the 3rd slide. And it's like, what is it, rack and pinion on it?
No, it's a cable driven.
That's right, sorry baby. It's a cable driven slide. And it starts here, and goes all the way up into the bedroom, all the way up to this other side. So this
up to the closet where the clock is up there.
Right up here. This slide comes all the way to here. And it is as long as those slides are down there. The only difference is there's not a lot of weight. It's just our bed, okay? And this is a king size bed. Over in this corner, you've probably seen in other videos, Pati does her work. So this is her laptop and her little workstation. She actually uses all the monitors here to work. She works remotely. And then everybody has their mattress, okay? So yes, absolutely 110%. We're not selling a mattress on this particular vlog or video. But there's a really nice mattress out here. Go out and buy yourself one. We went to where did we go?
Camping World and got
yeah,
one.
we went to Camping World. There was a big sign said like 40% off. Negotiated a little bit, got it way cheaper. They are excellent. Here's the key that most of these people that are trying to sell you all these mattresses out there, they're all pretty much made almost in the same factory, okay, with only a few exceptions. So if you buy one from Camping World, and this is not a plug for Camping World, but they're pretty much made in the same factory. Now I'm gonna have Pati go into the bathroom, and this is the top thing. This has helped us. This is the game changer for camping remotely, boondocking. And it's gonna be a little unusual, and it's a little hard for you to stomach at first. It was for me, but we're gonna set up a shot and I'll explain it to you. When you get an RV, any RV, it's gonna have a toilet in it. That's okay, that's good. And it's gonna be hooked, if you're camping out in the middle of nowhere, it's gonna be into a black tank, which in our case is about 50 gallons, which you're going to have to change, and it's going to work for maybe 2 weeks, 10 days, and then you're going to start getting an odor, okay? And then the other thing that happens is it piles up in the bottom of that tank. And the problem is that all these rigs are they're really recommended for camping, is what they are. They're just for camping. So going up for 2 weeks, come back, put it in the side of your house, put it in the garage, that's it. That's what they're designed for. They're not designed to live in full time like we do. So what happens is when you're out in the woods and you're trying to be out in the middle of nowhere camping from, excuse me, from camp spot to camp spot, and you're hardly ever coming and hooking up to any electrical or water, you got to use a lot of water to flush them out. And that's where the pile starts. The pile of you know what sits in this tank. And if you don't flush it with a lot of water, because even when they're in a camp or an RV site or in a park like we are, they need lots of water to keep that flow, to keep that pile from accumulating. What Pati and I have found is been out for about 3 years. It started happening 3.5, 4 years. It started happening to us. You're constantly fighting the smell. You're constantly putting things in that try to break down all that crap that's in there. We even have a hose thing. I'll try to find it where you stick it down in there and try to wash it out. You're constantly fighting the smell. So if you go to what this is, a composting toilet, the first thing that comes into your mind is, are you kidding me? You talk about smell. It's like having a litter box for humans, right? Well, that's what I was afraid of. That's what I got scared about. This isn't gonna work either. This is gonna be terrible. I'm gonna have to deal with it more directly. Where on the side of it, you just hook up a hose and you drain it out. But that's the thing. Once you get that into your head, you'll go to this because you're constantly dealing with the flow of crap. You're scrubbing it, you're putting your hose down and cleaning it out. You're putting all kinds of stuff in there to break down the bacteria and clean it out, to get it smelling nice again. You're always putting stuff down in it to keep it fresh. It never worked for us. What, 5, 6, 7 days? The smell starts coming back again. I go, oh my gosh, what have I got to do?
Poop, poop, poop.
I put a hose up inside of it, squirt it out. Put a hose through where you put the hose through the side where it talks about black tank flush, and flush it. Okay, it's good for 2 or 3 days. Then about the 6th, 7th day, it starts stinking again. You're like, my goodness. Now, honestly, I have to tell you, this has been here. We have been using it, number 2, for almost, what, 2 weeks now?
Over 2 weeks now.
Over 2 weeks, you cannot smell it. You do not know it's here. When you take it apart, I'm not going to show you, when you pull it out and you take out the mess, you dump it into a bag just like you would your kitty litter, and it's gone. The smell goes with it. You don't even smell it. Plus, I don't know if Pati can get right down in here. I'll turn on the light. This hose right here has a fan on it. that's constantly taking the odors out and flushing it out of the rig. We don't even smell it. So when you're trying to do camping long term out in the middle of nowhere, this here is the #1 draw for water. The regular one that they put in the system here is going to take all kinds of water to keep it clean, to keep it flushed. Even if a suck truck comes and puts its thing on the side of it, the last thing they tell you to do is get a whole bunch of water. At Snowbird West, they tell you get 5 gallons at least. And be prepared when it gets down to the hose stop shaking and sucking to pour that water in to help flush that little pound, that little mound of stuff out. Guys, I don't have to mess with that anymore. But I would have a whole lot more. I don't know if you've ever seen the videos where a guy unhooks a hose and he didn't get all the valves shut right and he's got mess all over him. I never have to deal with that. All I do is take this, dump it into a bag, and put it back in there. It's good. We put in this stuff. We put in this. I've showed it on other videos. And we mix it with water.
Small amount of water just to break it up.
And we put it in there.
And we put it into, we have a little container right here.
Then we keep it there.
We have mixed it up. And this container, just so you know, what's in there right now is probably enough for the next treatment, the next time we do it, which will be about 2 weeks worth. And the last brick that I unconstituted, I've gone through about 3 different change outs. So basically one of those bricks, which costs about $3, lasted us for probably close to 6 weeks, or it will when we finish with this one.
Composting toilets. Now, here's the last thing that's very important. When you're going #2 and you're dropping it down into your 50-gallon tank, what else are you doing? You're doing #1. You're dropping #1 and #2 in together, and guess what? That's where it really gets to rank. It really, the two mixed together is horrible. This system separates the two. There's a little tank inside the front of here that you urinate in. When you sit down, you urinate into it. She does, I do. When it starts to get full, this little light over here will come on, tell you it's time. You can't see it right now. I'll push the button, it'll make it maybe come on. No. When that light comes on, it means it's time to dump it. So I would just take it down to the regular toilet. I put it in the back of my electric bike. I run down to the toilet, I dump it, wash it out, and bring it back. Because I separate the two. Because I separate two from one that does not stink. It's one of the most amazing things. This is the way to go if you're trying to be out for month after month after month. Or you can go out somewhere in the forest and try to dig a hole and put your #2 in it. But guess what, guys? If the Forest Service catches you do that, you're in a lot of trouble. But you can put this in a bag and take it and put it into a dumpster, and they don't care. In fact, the landfill guys will say it helps the landfill to spread out. If you have any questions about it, drop them down in the comments.
Less water being used.
Okay, last point. I now, instead of I have 2 gray tanks. I have a kitchen gray and I have a shower gray. I now have a 3rd gray, which I've just opened up all my valves. I'll show you a picture of that. I've opened all my valves and I have about 135 to 140 gallons of gray water. That's huge. When you're out in the middle of nowhere and you can't drop your gray water until you get to a dump station, 2 things are great about it. One is I have plenty of storage space for all that gray water, for showers, for kitchen, for all that. And #2, I don't have to deal with the stink. It's not as bad. It's just gray water. And gray water, you flush it down. It's a whole lot easier to keep your rig clean. I'm going to make a prediction. In the future, when they realize that more and more people are doing long-term camping in a rig.
Hello YouTube, Victoria here. The Stormwatch team decided to remove this idea. This idea may be worthy of a future patent. Please enjoy these pictures as we skip this section.
Okay guys, we all know it. If you're out living in a rig and you run around on wheels, they're going to have to be replaced. And so we went to Discount Tire and we got the Goodyear Ultra Endurance tires. This is them taking off my old ones. On the inside you could probably see where they're starting to wear on the inside, and we just don't want to have any problems with them. So what we're going to do on the next video, we're going to talk about all things outside. I like Discount Tire. They had us pull right up here along the side and just jumped right on it and got it done. I just squirted some grease in these bearings here. But like I said, next week we're going to talk about all things on the outside, RVing, out in the middle of nowhere, long term. Thanks for watching. Catch you next week.